If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm sitting here with the homie Kevin.
Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing pretty good, and hopefully everyone is good and anxious for tonight's episode. Got something a little special lined up again.
Oh yeah, you know, tonight's episode, the one that I said I was going to post on Facebook, but I never got around to doing it.
You guys gotta understand, we're kind of cavemen over here, you know. We do this and we're good at this, but then when it comes to social media, we just suck.
We do. There's no two ways around
exactly.
it. And you know, it's one thing if one of us sucks at it, but when we both suck at it.
I know, right? For instance, we set up a Twitter account, and the only reason I remember, because we still get emails from them.
We still get emails from them, yeah. Like, when I remember to, I'll still put a link up on our Twitter that, no one is watching.
No, we just put it into the vast openness of nothing. So if you guys have Twitter, or if Twitter is still an apparent thing outside of Donald Trump's use, then, go ahead, send us a friend request, a bird. I'm not sure how that works.
What if Donald Trump liked us on Twitter?
Shit. I mean, I won't say no to a follower.
That'd be a lot of publicity.
That would be a whole lot of publicity.
Would. A lot of people would look at it, and I mean, if the saying is true, if all publicity is good publicity, then damn it, we'd have a lot of good publicity.
That's true. A lot of people would be curious about, hey, who's Donald Trump listening to? Oh, who are the homies? Yeah. And then we might get a lot more homies.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I would secretly hate us a little bit. Yeah. But
yeah.
But there's worse that could happen, surely. But
I suppose Hitler.
I can't think of it right now.
Hitler could like our page.
Ooh, that's definitely worse.
Yeah, that means a couple of things. That means that one, when Hitler likes our page, that's and two, that means that there's a necromancer running around.
Well,
somewhere.
we are talking about villains tonight, so that would be appropriate. I feel like, to an extent. For tonight only, that would be appropriate.
Why are necromancers always portrayed as being evil?
And actually, we were talking about this a lot lately because I've been playing the game a lot more lately. Inquisition, you do have a necromancer who's on your side.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can
Dorian. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't start off as one.
He becomes one or something. Yeah. But,
anyways,
he's kind of
like Kevin said, tonight we're talking about our top 5 favorite comic book based villains of all time. And as you remember, a couple months ago, we did one on our top 5 favorite comic book based heroes.
Yep.
And so this is just a sequel to that. So it should be fun. And we talked briefly, but not a whole lot in depth. And I'm curious to hear because I know I had this was equally challenging and fun to put together, and you said the same thing, but for probably a different reason.
Yeah. So here's the thing: as I started to dig deep about myself and my favorites here, because I've never truly asked myself who are my favorite villains. If I had to make a lineup from 5 to 1, I found that a lot of my favorite villains actually came from literature and books I've read before in the past. For instance, I could not get past Captain Beatty from Fahrenheit 451. He was one of my favorite villains, and I won't go into him because he's not appropriate for tonight's episode on this comic book and not classic old school book literature.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of dig past that and kind of go into more of the questionnaire of, so which ones do I actually give a crap more so about, you know? And which ones are actually more outside of just Hollywood and what they've done to portray our characters versus what the actual comic books and the writers themselves have done for my characters. And don't get me wrong, some of my people are going to be only because of the movies. For instance, my number 5... Actually, no, I take that back. Number 5 is my only case. Everyone else I actually thoroughly enjoyed before they hit the big screen.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Good.
But yeah, no, that was one reason it was very difficult for me, just because I kept thinking, who are my favorite villains? Oh, well, oh wait,
Yeah.
no, there's not a comic book that guy.
Yeah,
So,
see, mine was difficult for another reason, because as I was, sitting down trying to put my list together, what I did first was I said, okay, this is gonna be way too difficult. My problem was almost the opposite.
You had too many
I had
villains
too
in
many.
mind.
So
Yeah.
because I said, okay, I'm just gonna, without putting too much thought into it, I'm gonna just take like all the villains that I love, and I'm gonna just spitfire or write them down, and then I'm gonna take from that list, and then I have my top 5 easy.
That's what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took my list and wrote it down, and I ended up with 20 names. I was like, well,
So how many honorable mentions do we have tonight?
we only get 3.
Okay,
only get 3
only get
honorable
3.
mentions.
So
Yeah.
only
So
3.
so my list was still hard regardless.
Yeah. So 8 of your 20 became important.
Yeah. And I felt so bad because, but I love all of you. Yeah. What can you do? But before we get into it, let's do some comic news.
Comic news.
Comic news. First up in the comic news section tonight, Todd McFarlane says that Image Comic has 22 properties optioned for Hollywood movies. Damn.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So they're trying to step up on this big screen game.
Well, yeah, and I think according to the article I read, it's really more of Hollywood. I mean, don't get me wrong, Todd McFarlane being as involved with Image as he is, I'm sure he also wants to get more of those properties on the big screen. But, I think right now Hollywood is riding that tidal wave of superhero movies.
Yeah.
I mean, like when a decent superhero movie makes $600 million,
People want to jump on that. I mean, that also is another testimony to that fact, is also how many good quality big names are jumping on these Hollywood boats now.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, these comic book movie boats now. We're getting quality actors there who have been considered B-list and above joining our crew, Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think this will be a really good opportunity for not just for Hollywood to kind of shake things up with the superhero genre, but also for the audience to be introduced to a new category of heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like more heroes, different archetypes than what they used to. And following in line here with the with that piece of comic news, everything in the upcoming Spawn movie will either be from the comic books or from the HBO animated series, and that has a lot of people excited, including myself. Obviously, and ironically enough, if you listen to the top 5 heroes, Spawn was on my list, and I love both Spawn in the comics and also in the HBO animated series. That was a really well done series. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's really good. But so yeah, that has me really excited about this movie. There's a lot of people out there who are a fan of Spawn, and they're kind of wondering right now what to expect from this upcoming Spawn movie. Because apparently they're going to follow more from the perspective of Twitch, who is a detective in the Spawn universe. And Spawn is going to be kind of more like not so much a background character, but kind of a background character. And they said it's going to be more of a horror movie, so don't think too much about the 96 version with Michael J. White. Think more of a horror type film.
Cool.
So it should be really good, though. I'm looking forward to it still. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be released sometime in 2020. So it has a set release date. James Gunn, of course, he's the director for 1 and 2 and also 3. He has hinted at using the cosmic hero Nova.
Hey,
So,
there
yeah,
you go. Cool. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Awesome to see them on screen.
Yeah. And he also said something that was a little cryptic, and you can take from this what you will, but he also says that this would be the final movie of this version of the Guardians. So, yeah. So once again, I'm not sure what all that entails.
I bet you that means that we're not going to be seeing the Chris Pratt gang anymore, and instead we'll be moving over to the Sylvester Stallone gang.
It could be.
Yeah. That's my first thought.
Yeah, that was my thought too. But
Yeah.
then I immediately thought, but like this main crew that we have, they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. That's
know.
true.
And I guess also this is also a major spoiler alert. I guess they all survive Thanos' reign. I don't know.
Yeah, if there's a third movie.
Yeah, but I guess it also depends on who all. Well, maybe they all won't make it out. Who knows?
Right. Who knows? We'll
Yeah.
leave that to them and trust in their
Yeah.
sometimes capable hands.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So long as they don't pander a daggum baby Groot to me again.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't give me this. When I ask, never mind. I'm not gonna rant about
let's,
that.
let's just move on.
What's up? What else you got?
Next up, Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be in the upcoming Venom movie. And actually read something that kind of clarified it a little more, so I don't really know what to take from it now.
I heard about this, but I don't know details.
Well, yeah, so Tom Holland, they said, I guess, trying to clarify, Tom Holland would be in the movie, but not Spider-Man. So I'm guessing they were just saying that Peter Parker will make an appearance, but not as Spider-Man. Okay. I don't know.
Cool.
But still, it's nice to have Tom Holland in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, because I still think that they're jumping the gun trying to do a Venom movie before he's introduced inside of the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem right. It's really out of whack for me, because just canonically speaking, how do you have Venom without Spider-Man?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. They did a good job rewriting parts of Spider-Man to make the movie Homecoming. You know, they did a good job kind of...
Well, I mean, they didn't really rewrite anything. They just skipped the origin, which was necessary for Spider-Man.
Right. But
at this point,
maybe rewrite was a poor choice of word. But my point is, they did a good job making the changes they made, however you want to call that, with Homecoming to actually give us a quality movie. Yeah. So I would trust them, see what's going on. You know, I'm willing to give it a watch.
I mean, yeah, obviously I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like right now, my faith in it isn't what I would like it to be. But we'll see.
I wonder which actual Venom is going to be Venom. You know, like which person they're gonna get. Because I know, like that kid we saw, that little bully,
because can't be Venom. Tom Hardy's playing Eddie Brock. Like he's the main character.
Yeah, good point. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. It's about to say, because that little pipsqueak was just not ready yet.
No, it's going to be a while before we get the Asian Venom.
Yeah.
Especially if it's that kid. Next up, John Francis DeLay and Jonathan Goldstein are set to direct the Flashpoint movie. Yeah. They're the same duo who co-wrote Spider-Man Homecoming, ironically enough. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, these two guys are going to be the ones to write and direct the Flashpoint movie. So yeah,
that'll be awesome.
Oh yeah,
okay, cool.
So yeah, I was already looking forward to the Flashpoint movie, but this just kind of solidifies it even more.
Yeah, that's good news.
Oh hell yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Hopefully they get ahead and go ahead and start on that. Let's go ahead and get this thing going.
Don't let the producers mess you up.
Yeah. Next up, Kitty Pryde and Peter Rasputin tied the knot. They're finally getting married.
Oh.
Yeah. And apparently, I haven't read the issue yet. I haven't been keeping up with like the X-Men Gold or Blue or any of the other colors. But Kitty Pryde actually proposed to Peter.
Oh.
Yeah, she proposed to Colossus, yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah. Of course, the freaking negative zone opened up again and they almost died. And then that kind of showed Kitty that, life really is precious. Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not indeed?
You gotta make your moments of happiness sometimes.
Yeah, especially if you're an X-Man.
Exactly, in that screwed up world.
Yeah, your significant other will die.
Well, you have to take notes sometimes to make sense of all the bullshit that goes on with your team. Yeah.
Oh, man. Next up here is gonna be one that I think that you would appreciate. Marvel announces the Hunt for Wolverine. So of course Wolverine he was officially brought back to life, or hinted that he was alive again about 3 months ago or so. And hey, stay over there. Calm down. All right.
Keep talking, damn it.
So yeah, it says Marvel will kick off the Hunt for Wolverine later this year with writer Charles Soule, who wrote The Death of Wolverine and parts of the Astonishing X-Men. And the Hunt for Wolverine #1 will reveal how he returned to the land of the living, all from the writer who orchestrated his death. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's going to be a multiple part story arc. And see if I can find it here. There's another really interesting tidbit here. Let's see here. Yeah, it says that the Hunt for Wolverine is just the opening chapters of a mystery that will reach all sorts of cool hidden corners of the Marvel Universe. And it will tell a story that will hopefully have us looking at Logan in an entirely new way. So, yeah.
That would be fresh. I like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And let's see, it says each one-shot will have its own creative team and will be themed after a different genre. So those stories include Animantium Agenda, which is action-adventure.
Okay.
Claws of the Killer, which is horror. Mystery in Madripoor, which is dark romance. And Weapon Lost, which is a noir detective.
Oh, okay. This sounds kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. They're going kind of artsy with this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that should be pretty good. And last but not least, the Black Widow movie is rumored to have a 2020 release date. So,
okay, good.
Yeah, it looks like, they're taking more and more steps forward with it. And it's going to be a go. Yeah.
Hell yeah, about time. Well, I mean, about time a few years from now, but yeah.
Well, it's about time they get started on it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson definitely has earned the chance there, I do believe.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that is our comic news for the evening.
Indeed.
Next up, we have
The question? Let's do the question.
Question of the
What's
week.
the question doing, man?
I figured I'd try to keep this in line with villains since,
Okay.
we're covering villains.
Sure.
Okay, so this is going to be another multiple choice question here. You're going to have 5 options. Okay.
5 of them. All right.
And you need to tell me which of these villains discovers Batman identity by pure deduction.
That's a very small list. Okay.
Yeah. Was it A, Hugo Strange, B, Jonathan Crane, C, Slade Wilson, D, Floyd Lawton, or E, Ra's al Ghul?
Slade Wilson, dude.
Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
That's incorrect.
What do you mean that's dadgum correct? I was so confident on that.
Yeah, I was surprised, like, because normally you sit back and you ponder.
Yeah.
But, like this one, like as soon as I said Al Ghul, it was out.
Yeah.
No, the answer is Hugo Strange.
That's believable. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, about this list. Like, all of these guys are in some capacity believable.
Right. Jonathan Crane, I wouldn't give it to, though. He would have had to do some extra shit to earn that.
Yeah, he's an intelligent man on his own. I feel like if he wanted to, maybe he could.
Right, but I feel like his intelligence is too, I don't know, focused, like too narrow-minded for it.
Yeah.
Hugo Strange, that makes sense.
Yeah. Floyd Lawton, I mean, that's dead shot. I just kind of threw him in.
I was about to say, like, I was pretty sure he wasn't one of the smarter, more brilliant minds on that list.
Yeah, in his own way he is. But,
I mean, his own way, but... Yeah. And the Ra's al Ghul, like, okay, I doubt it, though. So, yeah. It was definitely between Deathstroke and frickin' Strange.
Yeah.
Daggum you.
Yeah. It's kind of confusing because Hugo Strange himself is a doctor, and then in the Marvel side of things, you have Doctor Strange. So you have 2 Doctor Stranges.
I know, right?
That is a strange coincidence.
All right, you're done. Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yep. There's always next week. And unless there's not.
Unless there's not. Damn questions. I was pretty happy about that one, I thought, but never mind.
Yep.
All right.
That was a good one, though. It was a good guess. Yeah. If I wouldn't guess Hugo Strange, that'd probably be my guess, too. Would be... If I didn't already know the answer, then I would probably...
about to say, yeah.
Okay.
What's going on?
Now it's time for the main event. It's time for the main course. Time to get down to our top 5 favorite heroes of all time. No, favorite supervillains of all time.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. So the format for this podcast is going to be similar to the one we did for our heroes. So it was going to be like Kevin does one, and then I'll do one, and then Kevin does another, and so forth and so on.
Right. Yeah.
Once we both name our number 2s, we're going to go ahead and do our honorable mentions. We're each going to have just 3 honorable mentions, just pretty much stating who they are. And then we'll reveal our number 1. I am curious about this because like we said with our Heroes podcast, I knew that we have some in common. I'd imagine it's probably going to be the same here too.
You think so?
I think so.
I doubt it, my friend. I truly do.
You doubt that we're going to have?
I think we might have like one, maybe two of them up in the same.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
We'll see.
Okay. All
but like I said, I had to dig deep, my friend. I had to actually like go into a lot of my villain bases that I knew, and then like research a few that I want to know better. And in doing so, I found other villains and whatnot, people that I remember growing up reading about and things like that. And I'm pretty sure some of my list is gonna make you say, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Oh, that has me curious. Now, you want to go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah, I'll kick us off right now, man. So, like I was saying earlier, that doesn't apply here. My first villain choice is purely because of his movie appearance, because his comic appearances have done shit for him. In all his reincarnations,
Wait.
Come on.
Is it the Vulture?
It is the Vulture.
Oh my gosh.
Movie Vulture, dude. I loved Movie Vulture.
Yeah, because
Movie Vulture was great.
Yeah. Well, it's just as you were talking, I was trying to think like, okay, now what villain has the movies done better than the comic books?
And I know, right? And that's a very short list, if list at all, But Movie Vulture, aka Michael Keaton, was freaking great, dude. He was one of the few villains that, one, didn't get to die at the end. Instead, he actually got to live. What do you know?
Yeah. I thought for sure his suit was going to malfunction and explode.
Oh, I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. Like, don't you want to done this guy? Yeah. He actually made a good backstory. He's actually got like a cool-ass crew and like more depth in this character than any of the other Vultures. All right, so there have been multiple Vultures for those who don't know. Vulture was not just one same old bastard. There are multiple old bastards making this dude, right?
Main one is Adrian Toomes, though, correct?
That is correct. That was the first one. He was the first appearance in May 1963 in Spider-Man number 2.
Number 2.
Number daggum 2. So the Amazing Spider-Man, technically. So you can think, oh, wow, he's one of the original OPs. But no, he wasn't OP. He was just one of the originals.
Yeah.
He was originally Adrian Toomes, but again, I only care for the Michael Keaton version. Although the way Vulture came around wasn't too bad. It was just like far-reaching eventually. So our boy Adrian was a co-owner of this fancy company with one of his good friends. The friend handled the business, and he handled the invention. Well, we should know from common TV and movies and all the other cool stuff that we watch nowadays that formula does not work. Don't take friends into business. Enough said. Unless your business is your fun. Then in that case, you're good to go. But in this case, it wasn't, because our boy here, Adrian...
Like, what is this podcast?
Oh, no, dude. This is fun. I'm gonna run off with all the shit. I pick up all the mics and just run the... But, no, Adrian, he was all, having a great time inventing bullshit for this company, and he was doing great stuff, and he was making astonishing leaps technologically for 1963. And he just finished inventing this harness, which he could wear, which would help him to fly. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah. So as he invented this thing and finished it and perfected it, he went to go tell his business partner about it, whom he found was embezzling money from the company. Thus, in a long domino trail of political red tape, led to Adrian being kicked out of his own company.
Damn.
So obviously being bitter and sour and all kinds of upset at this, old man Adrian decided he was going to dome his friggin' vestige, his bullshit, his wings,
his invention,
his what did I call it earlier? His
harness.
Thank you. I forgot my own words. I didn't write this part down. Yeah. But no, he had his own harness back on, and he started to go out wrecking havoc, and eventually he became a killer and just kind of like a very bad person in general, right? Very quick for a villain who appeared in number 2 of an issue that obviously is going to run for quite some time, but then only number 2.
Yeah.
But no, he started doing his thing. More importantly, Michael Keaton was freaking great in the movie. I liked his origin story a lot more. Yeah. Just because we see that, one, he's not like a villain whose entire purpose is to get in the way of the hero, like we talked about countless times. His whole purpose was actually, let me support my family by doing this. And I'm resorting to this, but it is supporting my family. Right. And then some. Those guys were pretty comfortable, dude. They had some nice stuff.
They were making it.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was doing good in like his third Birdman / superhero role.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. But go look it up. But no, definitely movie Vulture, highlighting movie Vulture there. It would be in my number 5.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Like that was
Yeah.
I think we discussed this, but I think that may have been my favorite villain of last year.
Yeah, I mean, in the movies thus far,
movies,
he's been the only one that's been able to really stick it out. And first off, I just enjoyed his depth a lot more than some of the other villains we got. They just kind of felt like
I felt
lazily
like,
shallow.
Yeah, I felt like maybe if Hela had more depth, she could have been a contender.
And she could have done.
Yeah.
She could have, especially if they tried to not make her a comedian.
Yeah, she didn't have that many jokes though. To be fair,
Not that many. She had a few moments where it was like,
one.
okay.
Yeah, she was one that didn't have that many jokey moments. Yeah. Okay, but
What about you, my friend? What's number 5?
so moving on here, my number 5. So I wanted to do something here a little fun for this one, for mine here. I have a quote from all of my villains here.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Okay, I like this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And want to see if you can guess who says this quote.
We know where this is going to go, so let's go ahead and jump into it.
Okay. My number 5 has said the following. Pain is like love, like compassion. It is a thing for lesser men. What is pain to me?
Shit. I'm going to say Bane, Deathstroke maybe. Which one? Am I right? Do I have one of them right?
Actually, no. I can see how
so.
I can see how you get that.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, my
Wait, are they
number,
Marvel or DC? Because let me get some Marvel guesses too.
is Marvel.
Marvel? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a minute then. Give me a second.
Oh, jeez.
Shit. No, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I give up.
Well, this is definitely going to give it to you, I think.
Okay.
My number 5 is the opposite of your number 5 in the sense that he is an amazing comic character, but has never had a good movie appearance.
Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Yep. Poor Doom, man.
Yeah. Dr. Victor Von Doom, man. Yeah. He is definitely my number 5.
Worthy choice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, made his debut in Fantastic Four, issue number 5, back in 1962. I mean, goddamn, like, Dr. Doom is number 1 on a lot of people's list for good reason. Damn. So just to start off here, Dr. Doom, he is a master practitioner of magic and science. Like he's had magic on par with that of Doctor Strange, and he's had tech on par with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
The man is damn good, and that's what makes him so dangerous is his mind. The fact that he's able to reach in and grab science and grab magic, and then use them both to his bending and to his liking.
That and the fact he has so many damn clones.
Yeah, well, the Doom bots. I was gonna get to that a little bit later on too. But yeah, the Doom bots are extremely well built. They are made to look and sound and act just like he is, just like he does. The Doom bots have a like the same kind of armor made of the same material actually, so they're no pushovers. He oftentimes sends the Doom bots like to meetings that he doesn't want to go to. He sends them into battles that he doesn't feel like fighting, and he's just he's well prepared with those Doom bots, and he has just a shitload of them. Of course, he's a genius in physics, robotics, cybernetics, genetics, biochemistry, and time travel.
As if all that wasn't enough.
Yeah, if all that wasn't enough. Yeah, he wears a nuclear-powered titanium battlesuit, which gives him strength, flight, protection via force field. His suit has a 4-hour air supply, and it can be sealed for, space travel or underwater travel. It's badass. He's extremely arrogant and narcissistic. He is, I think, potentially smarter than Reed Richards. It depends on the day of the week.
Right.
Yeah, he's potentially the smartest man in the Marvel universe.
It depends on which one recently finished the latest science book.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
Well, something interesting here, because in preparation for this, I was reviewing a lot of work from the Doom origin story, like the true origin he got back in like '03, I think.
The one with the gypsy mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Cool.
Yeah. That one was really fascinating. I mean, for one thing, we learned that in that when he was a college student, he came to America for the first time. He and Reed Richards, that's where they first met, and they did some work together. They weren't technically really friends, but they were more colleagues. Shortly thereafter, though, Doom left. He went back to his homeland, back to Liberia, and he like a little while later, he realized that Reed had actually taken some of the creations and inventions of Doom and then used them for his own. He kind of repurposed them and said, "Yeah, this is my creation." And
what a dick.
yeah, I mean, like you look at Reed Richards, and you always think of him as being like this.
Yeah,
this
the wannabe good guy, the
yeah,
Mr. I'm
yeah.
always...
And I mean, he still is. Don't get me wrong. It just shows like a deeper level to Reed Richards and to Doom.
I could see if our boy Doom, even in college, made some type of weapon-based idea, and then Reed Richards took it and said, "You know what? Let me change this around," and all of a sudden we have this other cool device that helps instead.
Right.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I just don't know the details, so I don't know if that's ever the case.
Yeah, yeah. And who's right and who's wrong, that depends on who's talking.
True. Yeah.
Like
touche.
Yeah. So, but it is just something that's worth noting. Dr. Doom, he's blinded by motivation to free his mother from Mephisto's realm. That's a lot of his driving force, because of course his mother, she was a practitioner of magic, and she did a ritual to protect her and her family, but she didn't know that it would cost her soul. It most definitely did cost her soul. And Dr. Doom spends a lot of his time trying to figure out a way to free his mother from Mephisto's realm, to free her soul, so that she doesn't have to be there. And that is really something that I really do appreciate about Dr. Doom. Just the fact that there are things that he cares about, people that he cares about.
Right.
In this case, just really his mother. He really did love his mother and his father. They were particularly good to him. Dr. Doom, he still is extremely sick in the head. He's been willing to sacrifice people that he loved just for certain magical rituals. He's done things that he knows are unsavory. He knows that he has sin on his hands and blood on his hands. At the end of the day, though, the thing that makes Dr. Doom so compelling is that he's the type of villain who sees this overarching picture, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill that picture, to fulfill that image he has in his mind, because to him the ends justify the means. And
that sounds like a little bit. I don't mean to demean it, and I hope this doesn't sound like it is at all, but it also sounds a lot like the Rick from Rick and Morty a little bit. Yeah. Like I just replaced Doom in what you're just saying now with Rick, and it made sense.
Yeah, that's yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much my pick for number 5 is Dr.
Awesome.
Doom, one who's extremely powerful, he's extremely smart, he's extremely tortured. He's the type of person who the Avengers and Fantastic Four had to all band together to fight at times.
Right,
because
yeah.
he's just that guy. You never know what Doom is up to, and you probably never will until it's too late. Yep.
Yeah.
So who's your number 4, my friend?
Number 4 is someone I learned about recently in late 2017. And this is going to be another surprise to you, I do believe. Proteus, a.k.a. Mutant X. He is...
What?
I know, right? Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. The thing I learned about him, though, late 2017, is that he's the equivalent of Ultron, but not in data and machinery, but in energy and psychic energy. Or I'm sorry, that made no sense. He's psychic energy and type and like a cosmic, even psionic level.
Yeah.
The same equivalent. Like, you can't get rid of him. He's pure energy.
Right.
So, our boy Proteus started out as the son of a gene researcher, Moira. I'm never sure if
Moira
I said...
McTaggart.
Exactly, Moira McTaggart. And the political husband, Joseph McTaggart. Yeah. Well, Joseph was a dickhead douchebag. He was abusive, he beat her, he raped her, and thus Kevin McTaggart, or Proteus, was the child of this political dickhead.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Kevin was raised imprisoned by his mother for the sake of Kevin's own protection there. And eventually he broke out, and it made the small story arc for the X-Men series of comic books from 1979 to 1980, thus his first appearance debut. And that was issue number 125, released September 1979. But no, the thing is, this kid was just tortured from childhood and up. That's why he was willing to break out and find his father and surely do some pretty unspeakable, energetic things to him, energy puns intended. So he has reality-altering powers where he can literally alter reality itself, just like Scarlet Witch on the same level, but on a massive scale, same as her. And then he can alter matter and atoms and molecules and all that shit. And then he can also alter and possess people and say, hey, I'm going to steal your body. I hope you're cool with that. Yeah. Oh, you're not? Too bad. You're mine.
I didn't want to cut you off here,
What's
but
up?
Something that's really interesting about Proteus here, about Kevin, is that he was definitely repurposed, but he was used in X-Men too.
Really?
Yeah.
In the movie?
In the movie.
I don't remember that.
Remember it was the young man in the wheelchair. In the movie, he was the son of William Stryker. William. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was that supposed to be the same?
Supposed to be the same, yeah.
All right, that was a cheap knockoff, guys. That's nowhere near the same version.
No, nowhere near. He had some cool powers in the movie, but it wasn't. Yeah.
No, this version apparently burned out his original body and thus became this energy psionic being of himself, which can fly around and do all this other cool shit. But then he can possess anybody he wants. Literally anybody. There's no restriction except in one case later on in his storyline where he found out that he cannot possess people who have metal implants. So people that have like some kind of ball bearing made of metal or replaced a kneecap or with adamantium skeletons. Exactly. That's where he found it out at. He tried to possess Wolverine and make him go berserker rage. Yeah. But then he found that the adamantium was not going well with his energy being, thus finding out that his energy weakness is metal. So I thought it was pretty awesome. Yeah. Super, super overpowered villain here that has been forgotten and left in the dust.
Yes.
They used him most recently, as I now learned, in X-Men Weekly, by the way, which I'm not going to count canonically as a use for him. But they more recently used him in the 1990 animated series of X-Men, where he was based on an episode, and they tried to basically take the same comic idea that he had, escaping his mother's imprisonment to go find and kill his father, made that into an episode.
Yeah.
But, and that's the thing, he can do all kinds of crazy, overpowered, awesome bullshit with all his powers. He has telepathy and all this other cool stuff, and he was just tortured because his entire purpose is let me please try to stay alive with all this power.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what that kind of mental strain is on that type of thing.
Growing up with those kind of abilities by themselves would be hard enough to deal with.
Right.
And then also having a dickhead dad would only worsen it,
Like, you can kill your dad, but then it's like, all right, well, I still gotta live, essentially as long as I can, which is forever until some other magical or metal-related incident comes across my way.
Yeah.
Then, he's not gonna die. Right. He's not gonna age.
Yeah.
His body's will, but then he's like, well, the hell with this body. Let me go and get that one.
Right.
Yeah. No, he definitely doesn't need one. Yeah. But
and he can take whatever he wants. Yeah. Take anybody he wants.
Yeah. Certain powers of his are more powerful as he's in the human body. For instance, in the human body, he can alter matter better, and he can do cool shit like that, reality based. But then in the energy form, he's better with his psychic abilities, his psionic powers, telepathy, and things like that, telekinesis even.
Right.
Yeah. but super, super powerful villain who I wish they would bring back somehow on a movie big screen level.
You know,
that would be awesome.
He, if they would bring him back to a movie, I'm sure he'd be better than X2. His X2 appearance, but they'd
have to debuff
They'd
him
have to
hard.
definitely water him down.
Yeah, because he's on that Ultron level. How do you screw with that? You don't.
you really can't.
Yeah. Unless you get freaking Sophie Turner, freaking Phoenix on your side, and all of a sudden do some sonic, psychic battle. But that's it.
Yeah.
But no, that's my number 4.
That's a good villain, man. Like you were not kidding. I did not expect your number 5 or your number 4. Did not expect these at all.
Indeed.
Damn.
Yes.
Okay. Hot damn.
Indeed. Mutant X.
Yep. Let's see here if you can guess my number 4, based off of this quote here. That is. Not the quote for my number 4.
Oh, I don't know that quote.
Okay, here it is. Number 4, he has once said, "My intellect set me apart. Faced with difficult choices, I knew nobody whose advice might prove useful to me. Nobody living."
Why do I feel like that's... is that Marvel or DC? I feel like that's neither. The person I have in mind doesn't fit either of those bills. I'm thinking Ozymandias from Watchmen.
Ozymandias. Yeah.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna break some shit.
Yeah. Adrian Veidt himself. Yep. He's my number 4. Yeah.
I'm gonna break something later.
Yeah, I love Ozymandias. Adrian, he is I want to call him a dickhead, but here's the thing: is that his heart really was in the right place. It was just twisted and distorted to fit his own liking, his own kind of viewing. Of course, Ozymandias, he is from The Watchmen, made his debut in Watchmen #1, September 1986. Ozymandias has a genius level intellect. He's a brilliant strategist and tactician. He's in peak human condition, so he's a superior athlete to nearly every other human being on the face of the planet. And he's a master martial artist. He has a photographic memory and unnatural reflexes and reaction time. He is considered the smartest man in the world. You look at all those accolades and you think, hot damn, like, this is someone to be reckoned with. Like, if you were to just take those accolades, you could arguably say that this person could definitely give Batman a run for his money.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And who knows, we might see that eventually.
Yeah, we very well could. Now with the Doomsday Clock, he's back, by the way. He was in that issue.
Yeah.
Adrian Veidt, Ozymandias, he got his name from Ramses II. He was at first a really big admirer of Alexander the Great, but then he switched over to Ramses II once he realized that Ramses was... He enjoyed or he admired Ramses way more even than Alexander the Great. He has a twisted methodology that comes from a desire to save the world. He wants to make the world a utopia. He wants to make the world a really safe place. And with him being so brilliant, he doesn't like to wait for things to happen and then try to fix the problem. He wants to think and act preemptively. And that's exactly what he does. Ozymandias is one of the few villains who comes up with a truly, truly disgusting plan and follows through with it. He gets away with it. And that's not to say that he didn't have opposition. He had a lot of opposition, but he still was able to successfully achieve this plan of his, which was to create an alien life form, send that bitch to New York City, and then it exploded, killing millions of people.
Which he did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did the plan. The plan worked, and people were at peace for a while, for quite some time. So his plan did work. He's brilliant enough so that Rorschach, who is an extremely great detective, didn't even realize it until it was too late that Adrian was the mastermind behind the plan. Ozymandias is also intelligent enough to trick Dr. Manhattan You know how goddamn smart you had to be to trick Dr. Manhattan? You had to be pretty smart. But Adrian is smart enough. But yeah, so those are really the things and the feats that set him apart, and really the reason why he is at number 4 on my list is because he was able to devise a plan and go through with it.
Okay.
A plan that killed millions. A plan that took a lot of gumption, a lot of thought, a lot of intellect, and he did it. And plus, he caught a bullet with his goddamn hand.
Super impressive. And
Yes.
he was even impressed with it too. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think that'd work.
Yep. Wasn't sure if I'd be able to do that. I did it. But yeah,
Very nice.
Ozymandias is a great villain. Love him.
Yeah, I was about to say, he almost made my list too, buddy. Yeah.
Yep.
Dang, we would have had a very similar list then. Yeah. Because just the two you've mentioned, I also debated and tortured myself over.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, before
Yeah.
writing down my final few.
Gotcha.
Plus, I just wanted something a little different, you know? This podcast would have been respectably and horribly short had we the same names, you know? It's like, oh, I chose the same one. I'm fearing that we're slowly getting more and more into that realm, though, as the list continues here.
Yeah. I think it's just inevitable.
It really is. Like, I'm scared that my next one, actually, speaking of which, is going to be on your list, too. We'll see.
Yeah.
My number 3 was Slade Joseph Wilson. Dadgum Deathstroke, dude.
Deathstroke, the
Dude.
Terminator.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't remember exactly when my first, my first, experience witnessing Deathstroke and like who this character was. I'm pretty sure I was really young. I think someone gave me a toy of him at a Pizza Hut birthday party of mine. I was super damn young. I must have just turned 8 or 9 or something.
That is
because-
really random.
yeah. But, back when having a
Yeah.
birthday party at Pizza Hut was cool.
Right.
Yeah. Although
Damn, we're
admittedly,
old.
I know, right? Admittedly, right now, a birthday party at Pizza Hut sounds freaking amazing.
Sounds amazing. I'm
Yeah.
hungry right now.
I know.
Like, pizza sounds amazing.
Dude, I can go for some of that Chicago deep dish we had, man. Oh, dude. Shout out to you, Chicago. You do deep dish well. But, no, freaking Slade Wilson, man. A.K.A. Deathstroke the Terminator himself. So, I remember I had this little action figure of him for a long time. And I was a little kid. I didn't research no shit. I didn't care. He just looked cool.
Yeah.
But I remember that little action figure, and I had him, and I'm pretty sure I had Raj Al Ghul as well. Two of them.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are today. I wish I still had them. I would have put them up somewhere in our little studio.
Yeah.
But well, my first reason for having him, he's so freaking cool, man. And I wish I could do that in the exact same voice
Yeah.
of Vegeta in the 4-star videos where they make
yeah. Yeah, shout out to Team 4-Star. They
Yeah,
made those
for
Dragon
real.
Ball, made those Dragon Ball Viz videos.
cool. Talking about that one with Broly, yeah.
Oh yeah. That was
Vegeta.
yeah.
I
that was the
loved
Broly.
that voiceover right there. He's so. I wish I could do that for this character because he deserves it in my eyes. He was created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. First appearance, The New Teen Titans, Volume 1, Number 2, 1980. So not an entirely old character. Very cool nonetheless. Joined the daggum military when he was 16. Tricked the military and, lied about his age to get in and said, you know what, let me up in this. I need to be an army kid. Quickly became a major. He was trained by Captain Adeline Kane, who eventually fell in love with him. Less than a year into, their relationship, he mastered every form of fighting presented to him at the time. And then he became a lieutenant colonel. Eventually, he married this girl, his captain, Adelaide, and fought in Vietnam. His crew massacred a village. He was super not cool with that. He said, no, guys, this is stupid. He rescued... No, he didn't go into that yet. But he met another soldier there who also said this was the wrong thing we're doing here, whose name was Wintergreen. That's important. Remember that.
Like the gum.
Like, exactly. That was my thought, too. Like, Slade can't chew gum to this day without thinking of that soldier. Minty fresh. I can go for gum now, too. Damn, go get me some gum.
How about you finish your damn
I'm
review?
on it. Eventually, our boy Slade, or the Terminator at this point still, was chosen for a secret experiment, which, in this point, as you guys know, the Army pulled him aside and gave him their own super serum type thing, which amplified every human thing about this guy, making him no longer even basic human, superhuman, a meta-human, as they called it. He had better strength. I'll go into that in a second. Eventually on this mission, however, he became a merc and saved this soldier whom he made friends with named Wintergreen because they sent him on a suicide mission. And so he's like, the hell with you, government. I'm going to go save my friend. Anyways, if that wasn't as complicated of a backstory right there, he came back over and there's some other weird, crazy bullshit that happened where he and Adeline had a kid, but the kid was kidnapped. Not to say kid too much.
Yeah.
The kid was literally kidnapped, and that's yeah. But Slade saved him, and in the midst of saving him, there was some incident where the kid actually got harmed and was made mute because of it.
Mute, like lost his vocal cords, right?
Exactly, and thus he brought him back. Adeline was pissed at Slade and said, "What the is this? My kid's mute." Shot at him, and in dodging the bullet, he messed up his right eye. Thus, we get cool eye patch Slade.
He should have been hanging out with Ozymandias.
I know, right?
Adrian
catching bullets.
Yeah, Adrian could teach him to catch the bullet.
Well, luckily our boy here, I mean, if that wasn't enough of a complicated military-based backstory to make him not only well-trained, but also diverse in experience, in emotion, and in character, I don't know what else is.
Yeah.
Plus, going back into what the hell this freaking serum did for him, think Captain America, but more in depth. He has better strength, speed, agility, durability, stamina. He's got freaking reflexes better. He can press a freaking ton, literally, is the recorded facts from the canon comics. He can use 90% of brain activity at any one time. Also, if that wasn't enough, a healing factor. Yeah. Semi-good, not restore or cut off arm good, but pretty good, okay? And if that wasn't enough, of course, on top of all that shit, if that wasn't enough for a daggum dessert cake, you can put extra frosting on top of that frosting with weapons training. This guy's a master at swords and guns and all kinds of other extra stuff. And it's like, how much more badass can you get?
Right.
There isn't.
Yeah.
He's achieved the word. It's his.
He's, with the exception of Superman, he's taken down the entire Justice League at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done that. He's a constant thorn in the side of Teen Titans to the point where you wonder if he's just toying with the kids.
I think he is. I think he was always doing that. I mean, I remember watching, obviously, the Teen Titans cartoon. Not this present one, the good one.
Where they oddly enough just called him Slade. I guess maybe Deathstroke was too violent of a name.
Maybe. Yeah. I guess that was too violent for a kid's show, I suppose.
Yeah.
But he just kind of stood around like a mad genius rather than anything else because he never had his cool weaponry or armor. You saw him with a mask.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he really is toying with these kids in the cartoon. He's like, I'm just calling... You can call me Slade, kids.
Right.
We'll go easy on you.
Yeah.
If he was going super easy, he would have said, call me Joseph. That's my middle name.
Yeah. Well, I do remember there was one episode when like he and Robin fought.
Yeah.
But I don't think it went too well for Robin.
Who was the voice actor? Because I remember he sounded great as Slade.
I used to know.
Give me a second
I
here.
forget.
Give me a second. Yeah. And Teen Titans. Not this new school bullcrap.
Yeah, not Teen Titans Go.
There we go. Okay. Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Ron Perlman. Yeah.
Dadgum. Okay, go you, Ron. good dadgum stuff. Well, there you have it. Yeah. Shout out to you, Ron, making him sound awesome, as awesome as he is.
So Hellboy and Deathstroke are one of the same.
Imagine them teaming up. Well, this is some crap. Shh, they'll hear you. Just, oh man. Yeah. But anyways, no, freaking Deathstroke, man, daggum great. I don't know. He's just always been badass to me. Like you want the merc with actual great training and quality and serious tone. That's the merc to go to.
Yeah. Not to say that Deathstroke doesn't have training. I mean, Deadpool doesn't have training. Deadpool is
highly
trained. He just doesn't.
Yeah. He's more like the merc I want to go to if I want to have fun too. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, Deathstroke is an amazing villain, man. Good
Thank you.
choice.
Thank
Yep.
you. Yep.
Yep.
I think he was ranked number 24 in the list of 100 greatest villains or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. That's cool, I guess.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about you, man?
My number
Wow.
My
Pierce.
my
Ear holes.
number 3 has said the following. I can't think of a morning I haven't woken up with the thought of strangling you. That sanctimonious image of yours fooled everyone except me, because I know evil.
And that's what the villain said?
Yeah.
Shit, that's a good quote. I don't know. I'm feeling DC. Is it DC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it the Hood?
It's not the Hood.
Oh, darn.
It is Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that really
Dang,
brings
that's
that
dark.
quote around. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's dark. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Lex Luthor, man, is that he is he's a dark individual. He hides behind the facade that he puts on in public. When you go into public, you see Lex with the charisma and the philanthropy, and the Lex who's donated millions to charity around Metropolis. The Lex who's done so much for science and engineering. That's the Lex that you see. The Lex who's provided jobs to countless peoples through LexCorp, which is like a global phenomenon of a company. You see this highly intelligent, highly charismatic, highly philanthropist type man. This is what we see. But Lex Luthor is so much more than that. That's just a cover for Lex.
Right.
So Lex Luthor made his first appearance in Action Comics issue 23 back in April of 1940. And of course, he's extremely wealthy. He's power hungry. He's a businessman and he's an intellect. But more than that, even though he has no actual superpowers, he's arguably Superman's greatest foe.
Yeah.
There's like him and then Darkseid when it comes to like Superman's greatest foes. I guess you can throw Doomsday in there too.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Since Doomsday killed him. But yeah,
Since he killed him and
since
all.
he killed him and all, I guess. But yeah, Lex though is definitely one of my personal favorite villains of all time. Because here's the thing about Lex Luthor is that he truly believes that he is right. He truly believes that shit. Like he really thinks that he is the savior that this world needs.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking about what really makes Lex such a compelling villain is more than just his brilliant mind, and is more than just his cool ass war suits that he creates to fight. It's more than that. What makes Lex such a great villain is I look at it like this. You're a child, and from a child you study hard and you work hard, and then you excel at every single thing you do. You master literally every type of science. You master every type of science.
Right, yeah.
You make a business blossom that you inherit. You take the smallest of things and then you make it grow. You become one of the most important, one of the most wealthy, one of the most intelligent men that the world has ever seen or known. You become this mogul, and then one day a god shows up who is not been trained the way you've been trained, who did not have to try to expand a global phenomenon of a company. You have this being who is not like you or anyone else on Earth, and this being single-handedly undermines everything that you've ever worked for, everything that you've ever tried to do. And now everybody in your city, everyone now looks to this god as a god. They look to him as their savior. And you want those people to look at you the way that they look at him, but they never will. That's why Lex Luthor does what he does. because he is a sociopath. He is like other of my villains on my list. He is narcissistic. He is an egomaniac. He is, yes, extremely brilliant. Yes, he has done good things for the country and for the world. Yes, he has done terrible things as well, but to him, it's also for the betterment of mankind. If you ask Lex Luthor, an intelligent man knows that sometimes you have to do the thing that isn't quite morally just to ultimately get what's best. That's what Lex Luthor will tell you. Lex, that's that person that he is. He's going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. But yeah, so ultimately, that's why Lex is at my number 3. The fact that he has this complex about him, this mental complex of his, that just won't let him be in second place. And as a matter of fact, besides Brainiac, there is no other entity on planet Earth that he considers smarter than himself.
Yeah.
That's the type of person that Lex Luthor is. And on top of that, it's arguable that, well, it's pretty up in the air now. Between him and Batman, those are the only two humans who could ever stand a chance against killing Superman.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the only two. But the only difference is Superman trusts Batman. Superman does not trust Lex, and yet Lex, he knows, still could stand a chance if he pulls something out of his ass.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was a great explanation, my friend. I mean, Lex should feel honored. So
Lex Luthor, if you're listening, then just know that, this is for you.
Yeah. Let's flesh that out a little bit. Let's bring an old topic up and make it current again.
Yeah.
So obviously we have Lex Luthor on the big screen now.
Mm-hmm.
Portrayed in a way which has surprised a lot of audiences everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you included, I'm sure. Freaking Jesse, man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about him portraying this being, this genius you've just described so artfully to us?
It's interesting that you mentioned that because I was thinking about it earlier.
Okay.
I was listening to a podcast. They had Michael Rosenbaum on it. Michael Rosenbaum played Lex Luthor in Smallville.
Okay.
And, then I thought about it and it hit me. Michael Rosenbaum is the only actor to tremendously play the role of Lex Luthor well. The only one. Not Gene Hackman. Not Kevin Spacey. So far, not Jesse Eisenberg. The only actor who has done a good job with the role of Lex Luthor is Michael Rosenbaum.
Damn.
Yeah. So Michael Rosenbaum, if you're listening to this, know that you hold a very prestigious title right now. Jesse Eisenberg has the opportunity to put his name to that prestigious list as well.
Yeah.
We have to wait and see how he does with his second outing as Lex, whenever that is.
Yeah.
One criticism that I do agree with on Batman vs Superman is that Lex just wasn't Lex.
No,
Lex,
definitely not.
Yeah,
he was
Lex,
like a wannabe Joker kid.
Yeah. Lex wasn't the man that I just described on this list.
Right. No.
Not at all.
Well, one, he wasn't a man. He was still a teenage boy.
Oh, he was a grown man.
Oh, come on. He was a tiny grown man.
Okay, now Jesse Eisenberg cannot help the fact that he may appear malnourished.
That's true.
Standing next to Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, yes, he's gonna look
exactly. That's true. That's a good point too. But I don't know, man. And I know that this is a tired subject, and I'm going to bring it up this one more time, and probably a few more times after this one more time. But Bryan Cranston, I still want to give him a chance in the role, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Tell me he can't. I don't know. We've talked about it privately, and I'm sure over the mic it's come up once or twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel that the time now is past.
No, it won't come up. The opportunity won't arise again for quite some time, if ever again.
Yeah.
So, no.
Mm-hmm.
Unless for some reason Lex Luthor decides to go time traveling, and all of a sudden he pops out older.
Yeah, and comes back out 30 years older.
Yeah, that's time travel's tricky like that. Who knows, man? But hey, Jesse, if you're listening, good luck to you, my friend. Obviously, you've got some big shoes to fill, and you're starting to fill them. Good luck with the rest of this.
Yeah, I like the cameo at the end of Justice League.
Right, that did him some good.
That was a nice step, but it was just that. It was just a step.
Yeah, in the right direction.
Yeah, in the right direction.
But you have a lot more steps to take.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
Michael Rosenbaum had like 10 seasons, to develop his character.
True.
But he also exemplified like all the characteristics that I've learned from Lex in the comics. All the characteristics that are on this list.
Very nice.
Yeah, but all that goes on to say that Lex his greatest weapon is his mind, but he does have some badass war suits that if he puts them to work, he can.
Right, they make Iron Man suits look like butter.
Yeah. He has some pretty tricked out suits. He has a bunch of different suits too.
Yeah,
just like Iron Man does.
Which one should I take today?
Yeah, most of them are for. Killing Superman. So they're decked out with kryptonite.
Right, yeah. He's got to have something for Batman now, too. He's got to recognize him. Oh, man. But,
all right, yeah. What you got? What
you
got for your number two?
So I'm going to preface this right now because if my number one isn't, quote-unquote, allowed to be my number one, because I did technically go outside my sources for this one. I'll tell you. We'll get to him in a minute.
Okay.
That's a premonition.
Okay.
But if that's the case, my number two becomes my number one by default because he is that awesome. I'm choosing Magneto.
Ooh.
Exactly. So Magneto is, when I first thought about this list, Magneto was the first one that easily came to mind. I knew instantly he had to be top 5. And he deserves to see the number 2 because of his complexity of his representation in big screen by multiple actors, both of which doing it quite well.
Yeah.
And also by his long list of achievements. So our boy Magneto was created by the infamous combo Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. First appearance was X-Men number daggum 1 in September 1963. That's an old daggum issue.
That's
an
Damn.
Awesome.
If you have X-Men number 1, you
he
have
was
a jewel.
the original.
Yeah.
The original freaking villain.
Yeah.
For them. But obviously we know his power suit. He controls and alters magnetic fields, thus, manipulating metal to his will. Mini alliteration. Portrayed by Ian McKellen and also Michael Fassbender in the movies, both of which friggin' awesome.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Both those guys are great.
I still love Michael Fassbender's his monologue
on the airplane,
airplane and in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah,
I really like the one in Days of Future Past on the airplane with Charles. Oh,
that's
man,
a good one too.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Michael Fassbender, man, just do monologues. Just give us more. So his entire his entire shtick is that he wants to replace humankind so that there are only mutants, or Homo superior as he liked to call them, reigning on the planet. His best friend and his most complicated relationship is with Professor Charles Xavier, and that's one thing I love about this guy. These guys may be opposites of each other in their philosophies and their mentalities of mutant kind and what should and shouldn't be with humankind, but they can still come together and talk and share, I'm sure, a cup of tea or a game of chess or something awesome like that. And it shows a great depth of character and also maturity from two powerhouse names in the Marvel universe.
They were as far as like the statue of their morality is concerned, they were in a sense sculpted after, of course, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, because the mutant revolution definitely paralleled the civil rights movement. Yeah, and in a lot of ways. But, I mean, of course, Martin Luther King took a more peaceful approach to things, saying that that blacks and whites and all races can coexist. Malcolm X seeing a lot more of
the darker side of things.
Yeah, he definitely knew. Well, he definitely felt that there's going to be bloodshed for us to accomplish our goal. So even though Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King had a lot of things in common, the way that they wanted to accomplish those goals were different, just like with Charles and Eric.
Very much so. And just as you were talking about with Malcolm X, our boy Magneto also saw the darker side of things. So one thing a lot of people don't know, including myself for the longest time as a fan, I didn't learn this until some time ago. Magneto is a man of many names. For instance, he was not Eric for the longest time. His original name was Max.
Max something, right?
Max Eisenhardt.
Yeah.
He was born in the late 1920s and quickly sent to Warsaw Ghetto from Poland as a child. Like, his family was in Poland, they moved to the Warsaw Ghetto. His family, being his mother, father, one sister, and one brother, were all buried alive in a mass grave and then quickly died in said grave. Whereas our boy Max was the only one to survive. And they believe that is probably due to the first, showing of his power coming through. So he escaped, he was captured again, he was sent to Auschwitz, where he met Magda, fell in love with her. They escaped to this camp together during the October 7th, 1944 revolt. What do you know, right? History.
Yeah, that's cool. They applied history to...
Yeah.
Would they apply comics like an actual history thing that happened?
Yeah. Which, thumbs up to you guys for good use of history. Also, thumbs up for your obvious M alliterations with Max and Magda. And also Max's new name, which was shortly after he married Magda, becoming Magnus.
Yeah.
Yes, or Magnus. There's an N there. Yeah, I forgot that too. They had a daughter named Anya, and this is one thing I love about the Michael Fassbender movie, because as I learned more about this in my research, the more I paralleled it hard with that scene in the woods and with what happened there. So get this.
Yeah.
So they had a daughter, and they had this happy, peaceful life for a few years, right? An angry mob comes up after witnessing a short power manifestation from our boy Magnus. They burned down his daggum awesome little private home with his daughter still inside. Well, our boy Magnus gets super PO'd and pissed off and all kinds of I know that actually meant the same damn thing. Yeah.
He gets super pissed off and pissed
Repetitive! But he's just off the wall balls angry right now. He's freaking killing people with his powers left and right, and he just equalizes and demolishes this freaking mob. Well, that pisses off his girl Magda. She ran off and proceeded to give birth to twins, Pietro and Wanda. A.k.a. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. What do you know? Anyways, he ran away and became Eric
Lynchier.
Lynchier. Yeah, there it is. It was a very, I want to say German or maybe even Gypsy name with his history. Yeah, because he impersonated someone from the Gypsy colonies. I don't know. But he went to Israel where he finally met Charles Xavier. They were working there together at a psychiatric hospital where their friendship blossomed as they debated night and day philosophy of mutant kind and humankind, not revealing to one another that they're both mutants. They didn't know this for the longest time until they were jumped. They had to fight.
You know that, if I remember this right, Professor X, he couldn't read Magneto's mind.
Even without the helmet back then?
No, that's a common misconception. Magneto does not need that helmet to block out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just one of his superpowers. Only like the Ultimate Universe does he need the helmet to block out.
Oh, that's where that started. I was wondering.
Well, I think it started in the movies.
That makes sense too. Yeah, the movies definitely threw it a lot of power to the helmet.
Yeah. But no. Yeah, he never.
Well, they did the same thing with Juggernaut too. His freaking dome.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like in the comics, his helmet does block out telepathic.
Okay, so you can see where they kind of jumped. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, did not know that. Now I do. Thank you. But yeah, they revealed to each other that they were mutants in a fight with Braun Strucker and Hydra, actually of all people. Afterwards, our boy Eric, at this time, I have to remember which name he's got.
Who are you?
His third first name, Eric.
I forget too if I were him.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, which name am I under today? Let me wake up and remember this. Let me take notes. He fled with some Nazi gold, and he became intent on never allowing any humans to hunt down human or mutant kind again, thus becoming Magneto, donning a team, his costume, his badass look, and of course his dominant personality taking over humankind. He's conquered San Marco. He built Asteroid M. He was the head leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Dang, he survived an alien abduction, dadgummit, and he survived de-aging. Like, he was reversed in age like a dadgum Benjamin Button case, you know. Came back into his age eventually. He ruled Genosha, and he did a whole lot dadgum more. I mean...
Yeah.
Shoot, dude. Magneto was, you know, friggin' on top of his game and then some. He was... I don't know. I'm honestly, as great as his achievements are, really, just to be straight with everybody, my favorite thing about this villain is the complexity of the character. How he can still represent and, you know, believe with a hard resolve his philosophy and how mutant kind should reign and rule over humankind.
His ideals. Yeah.
But he can still carry a wholehearted conversation with a deep friend that he cares deeply for. That friend obviously being Charles Xavier. I love the poetry of that friendship there.
Right. Yeah, it's not just black and white with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that about him. Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 2, my friend.
It's a damn good number 2.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Now,
I could really go for... What was that snack we were talking about earlier? Pizza?
Yeah,
I really
pizza.
want one of those pizzas right now.
I don't think
man.
pizza is a snack. that's a full...
What if you get a slice? Just one. Actually, if it's that Chicago again, man, just one slice was like, oof.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel it.
Oh, man, that was good pizza.
All right, I need to focus here.
Yep.
What you got? What's my number 2?
Okay, my number 2 has said the following. I got pizza in my brain.
I know, right?
Two
toppings.
I am no hero, merely a man who has seen and done and endured what can never be forgotten or forgiven. Who said that?
Hush?
Damn good guess.
Yeah?
Damn good guess, but no, it's not Hush. It's Magneto.
Oh, what the shit? What? Oh, man. I'd give you a hug right now. Oh. I didn't think it happened, but it happened.
It happened. Magneto is my number 2.
Yeah. All right. Well, say the things I didn't say.
Yeah. Thank you for making this extremely short for me.
I know, right?
So yeah, obviously, Magneto, he has, of course, he controls magnetism.
Okay.
I mean, shit, there's not a whole lot that you didn't say, but
Thank you.
yeah. But one thing about Magneto, though, is that he doesn't desire power or wealth. He only wants his people, the mutant kind, what he calls Homo Superior. He wants them to no longer suffer, and he wants them to take their rightful place as the dominant species. And so that's the thing. Like he just doesn't want his people to be safe and secure. He's like, no, we need to go forth and we need to take our rightful place here. Like, evolution has dictated that we are next. Like, mutant kind is, we're the next step in genetic evolution. We are it. The humans, not only do they try to kill us, not only do they try to, to torture us or to downplay us, but they're just ants to us.
Yeah.
They are now the apes, and we are what they once thought they were. We are the top of the food chain now, and so that's the thing about him. And the cool thing about Magneto is he technically wrong in that regard? I mean, before the House of M, the mutant kind, they were blossoming, and it's like humankind was evolving, and that mutant kind was taking over.
Yeah,
that is kind of what it seemed like. So in one regard, he may not have been wrong,
right?
But it really is his approach to a lot of things.
Yeah.
He can often be blinded by his desire to redeem his people and to save his people. But everything he does, though, it is for them. Like I said earlier, he doesn't desire like political power or wealth or things of that nature. He wants his people to be secure in a world where they don't have to worry about being hunted down for who they are, for what they can do. He wants them to show that.
Yeah. And the funny thing I was going to add on to that, actually. He didn't want those things. He didn't desire those things, but eventually they just kind of fell into his lap. Mm-hmm. He became the political leader of multiple colonies.
Like I said, Asteroid M and Genosha. He's the leader of those two. The Brotherhood of Mutants, and then the newspaper named them the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was actually thinking about that. Like, see, if his
Why would you name
mindset
yourself?
was the good guy, yeah, exactly. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, wait a daggum minute.
Yeah.
They were labeling.
But yeah, he does not believe that humankind and mutant kind can coexist, and that's really where he and Charles go at a divide. Like they don't see equal ground there.
No. Well, I mean, Magneto has a point. Let's talk about even some of the people that we've mentioned on our Marvel so far based list here. Proteus. How the hell are you going to justify he living among humankind, dude?
Right.
He burns them out.
Yeah.
They're just like temporary carcasses to him, you know?
Right.
And I mean, with 5-star level mutants like that, then how the hell can you say, "Oh, let's coincide together"?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. And this is just me spitballing here, just me thinking off the cuff. But if you have a mutant utopia that is allowed to thrive for, let's say 400 years, nothing but mutants, and then like these mutants thrive, and then they begin to grow.
Then they'll overtake humankind populations.
Yeah, what I was referring to is that just among themselves, though, is that then what will happen is the same thing that always happens. Mankind finds a way to find bigotry wherever they are. I mean, so even if you're, I mean, for crying out loud, Hitler, he just, I mean, if you were to take to a man like me, I am black, by the way. If you were to take, if you were to place a Jew in front of me, a Jewish man in front of me, and then like a German man in front of me, blonde hair, blue eyes, like to me, if I didn't have any sort of history lesson, I would say, well, yeah, these are two white guys in front of me.
Right.
But to Hitler, no, that wasn't the case at all. And so I think it kind of break down the same thing here with Magneto.
Okay. That's interesting.
I think that even though he would want his people to all be one and to all be united, I think that there'd be subgroups within his people that would splinter off and break. I think that the lesser tier mutants would feel downtrodden by the upper tier mutants, by the ones who are maybe class 3, 4, or Omega level mutants.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that there'd be a revolt after a while. I mean, I don't think that things would be this utopia that Magneto wants it to be. I think it would be for maybe 100 years, maybe 200 years, but then after that, I think it started to break down.
I can see that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me spitballing here. But yeah, like the previous 3 villains that I mentioned, he is willing to do truly horrendous things to accomplish his goals. I mean, he's done genocide. He's killed millions of people. He has. He's done plenty acts of terrorism, and he has tortured quite a few people. And I think for Magneto, it's easier for him to do because he doesn't view humans on par with mutants.
Right.
To him, a mutant life is worth more than a human life, and I mean, that's just the way that he rolls.
Yeah, I mean, with everything he's been through, I mean, it's understandable. I want to carefully say, not that we can judge the worth of a life ourselves, but
right. He doesn't necessarily see himself as evil. He more sees himself as a necessary or a necessity for mutant kind.
Right. The one who's willing to do the work.
Right.
Yeah.
The one who's willing to make the sacrifices and to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
And to do what he needs to accomplish that. Yeah. But yeah, that's about what I have on Magneto. I mean, he's
good choice number 2.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes. And of course, Magneto, we didn't talk a whole lot about his power set, but he is immensely powerful.
Oh yeah, plus he for a while he did a drug to only amplify his power. I mean, come on, man, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's done like one of the few things, maybe the only thing that X-Men 3 did well was show Magneto's power.
Yeah, it's true.
When he moved, which bridge was it? Was it San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco Bridge to go to Alcatraz.
Yeah. That was incredible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible.
And that's about right. And then, I mean, we see that a little bit with our boy Michael Fassbender, in which case they were training his powers, where all of a sudden he's like moving the satellite.
In first class. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, Magneto, he's done plenty of things. He's shifted the tectonic plates to cause earthquakes and tsunamis. He's taken high story buildings and made them crumble and twisted. He's
taken an army of sentinels
Yeah,
and turned them all
and turned
into
them all-
human hunting sentinels.
Yeah. And both the comics, I think the cartoons and the movie, he likes doing that a lot.
Oh yeah.
He's taking
poor
taking submarines out of the ground and planes out of the sky. I mean, this man has immense power, and they say that it's his power that actually allows him to live as long as he's living so far. That it actually is kind of saving him, is amplifying him.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It, I think it would alkalize him a little bit.
Yeah.
Health terms.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, that's also my number 2 is Magneto.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Shall we go into honorable mentions?
Let's do these honorable mentions.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I'm only going to name 3, and I couldn't not name one of these. It just had to happen.
Okay.
We've talked about it,
Okay.
but don't be surprised.
All right.
Okay. So my honorable mentions, man. Joker, duh.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, he would be top 5 if my number 1 isn't allowed. Premonition. You know?
I'm really curious about your freaking number 1.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doctor Doom, obviously, huge call there. You can't not say no. I'm sorry, wait. You can't not... Shit, I confused myself. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm hangry. I'm not hangry. I'm happy. But I am... No, I mean, you can't deny Doctor Doom and his obvious powers and his obvious friggin' like competence there, you know?
Yeah.
And then my other honorable mention, Snowflame.
I knew it.
Yes!
I knew you were going to put Snowflame on that list.
Okay, guys, so let me be straight with you. Snowflame was a complete gag villain. He was a one and done, okay? He made one issue and then done. But I learned about him, and he's been a running joke ever since. So Snowflame is the villain who lived in Colombia, of all places. Now, that's important. Remember that. He was a drug dealer. Also important. Remember that. His power... He gained superpowers as he did cocaine. So when he was high on cocaine, he had powers. But when he was coming off, he became human again. So he had to keep on that cocaine run, and he was, freaking awesome again.
Oh, shit, that's right. He kept with the booger sugar, and then his powers just kept going.
Thank you, by the way, for using booger sugar. But nah, I mean, I find that hilarious. One, that they actually wrote a character like this. That they wrote a character for predominantly a child's book.
He had to have been in the 80s, like during the crack cocaine crisis in America.
Right quick. I believe that. I'm gonna look up this fool again. Because
Yeah.
I did before, but, I mean...
Yeah, because like the 80s was the height of the whole crack cocaine epidemic in America.
Give me a second. Computer's loading right now.
Otherwise, I have no excuse for the creation of this character.
Dude, I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
First off, he looks crazy. He's like an
does.
old white dude with long, crazy-looking white
He's
hair.
got like orange skin almost, doesn't he?
Here's a quote from him, actually. Yeah. I am Snowflame. Every cell of my being burns with white-hot ecstasy. Cocaine is my god, and I am the human instrument of its will. How can you not appreciate that?
I guess because like they're like, wait a minute, what if Snowflame catches on and then people start to love him as a villain and then they start to admire Snowflame?
Right.
How many people at parties would just Tony Montana their face into a mountain of cocaine and then come up and say, I am Snowflame.
I am Snowflame. Oh my gosh. Okay. So he, like I said, he was a one and done in New Guardians #2 in the DC run, and he was late '80s actually, surprisingly late. Like, why is this still a thing? Late. October 1988 was his issue.
Jeez.
So, yeah. Pretty still late. But yeah, he was a one and done. His cartel tried to avenge him in New Guardians #3 after his death. I don't know who killed him, but essentially cocaine would give him superhuman strength, speed, immunity to pain. I wonder why.
I think that's what cocaine does in general.
Oh, and here's a cool one I didn't know. Pyrokinesis.
Damn.
Yeah. So cocaine gave him all kinds of crazy shit.
I see.
Which I suppose explains Snowflame.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and of course, cocaine touch. Which,
Cocaine touch.
Yeah. Touching Snowflame was sufficient to give anyone who touched him a contact high. So you couldn't really, punch him unless you had gloves on, I guess, because then you'd get stoned off cocaine too. He was funny. He was great. I wish. No, he can't. I know he can't.
You know you can't.
I wish we could see him one more time. But he was a real hero, people. Look him up. Please Google him. Snow Flame. One word. It's awesome. Jeez. Who are your honorable mentions? Please shut me up. You can't top that one.
My honorable mentions are Norman Osborn, Thanos, and Hush. Thomas Elliott.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to put those guys in there.
I was wondering if Hush was going to make your list.
Yeah, well, Norman Osborn, for one, like, yes, he's the Goblin. I think that he's definitely, in my opinion, top 3 Spider-Man villains. And not only that, but, he was the leader of the Dark Avengers. Like, he took over for quite some time. Yeah. I think he's extremely underrated as a villain. And I really enjoy Norman Osborn. Thanos, the Mad Titan himself. I usually don't like to use a lot of world breakers in my list, but Thanos, he's different, man. Like, just his personality and his whole obsession with death.
Right.
Not only that, but I've been reading a shit ton of Thanos lately.
I can attest to this. It is true.
And of course, Hush. I think the only reason Hush didn't make like the top 5 is because he hasn't been in a whole lot lately. But the one graphic novel that he is in, it was just truly amazing.
It was impactful.
This man like nearly bested Bruce Wayne in so many ways, and that that's hard to do. Like, you can't ignore that. He made this entire story arc just an amazing ride. Hush, Tommy Elliott, he's amazing. Yep.
Nice.
None of them, to my knowledge, have done cocaine. Except for maybe Norman Osborn.
On Snowflame's page, it said that he had a religion. They actually gave him a religion. And you know what it was?
What?
Cocaine. Like, he seriously thought, oh man, what? I'm done, guys. I'm done. Okay. Give me a second here.
Yep.
I gotta get out of my system.
Yep.
Okay. Decompressing. All right. What are we doing? Number ones? Are we ready? Are you ready?
One.
All right. Number 1. My number 1, people, I don't know. I hope you don't think that this is lazy, but I could not think of another villain who deserved number 1, more so in my mind and in my respect, just because I loved the hard message that I came across, and honestly the deeper meaning of the words hero and villain. My villain for number 1 is none other than Mr. Glass.
Did you put Elijah Parks on your list?
I did. I know technically he's not a comic book villain, but he is a villain who draws comic book style characters. And so I decided to give myself the liberty and put him on my list.
This is a wild technicality.
It technically is, and I knew that it would be. However, as I said before, if that's the case, then Magneto would become my number 1. But Mr. Glass, I still dominantly put my finger down on this table and proclaim proudly that this technicality is my number 1. This short relationship that we've had with Mr. Glass and the movie that we've got to see him in, and hopefully the 3rd movie, which we will see him in later on, a year from now, he defined more deeply the relationship between a hero and a villain for us than many other comic heroes or villains have been able to do in numerous, even hundreds of issues. This guy alone has been able to tell us that, look, you're here. Now that means that I have a purpose. That means that I wasn't a mistake. And that alone screams to me, that short phrasing that he gave to us, even in his ending monologue of the movie, that alone gave me so much to go off of. One, that this guy was a villain not for the sake of being in the way of the hero to just put up roadblocks in the hero's agenda. No, he actually had a purpose and an agenda of his own. He actually had his own desires. And they were against the heroes, sure, or in this case, they were, they had to be against the heroes in order to be fulfilled. But in these desires and in their existence, he found peace of mind when they came to be.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what he was searching for, really. Peace of mind.
Peace of
knowing
mind
that he-
and purpose,
Exactly.
identity, even. Yeah.
And don't we all want those things?
Yeah.
Aren't all of us deserving of those things?
Yeah.
Now, again, that's that fine line he definitely ran the freak over when he decided to massacre people in all kinds of planned wrecks and crashes and all kinds of like hundreds of bodies piling up on top of each other, all for the sake of finding one person to give him purpose.
Oh, by the way, like Mr. Glass, in case for some reason you don't know, he's from Unbreakable.
Yes, the movie. M. Night Shyamalan referred to our last...
not the musical.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
The musical.
Yeah, he's from the movie, not the musical. Continue.
Okay, I'll ask you about that later. I hope you're joking. Please tell me this.
Yeah. I mean, I made the exact same joke in the Unbreakable podcast.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Again, guys, go as I need to myself. Go listen to the Unbreakable podcast. You'll hear both the joke and more on Mr. Glass. But no, honestly, just the things that he's taught us in this movie and in this role alone, Mr. Glass definitely deserves my number one spot. You know.
Yep. I can't argue with that. I can argue with the technicality, but I cannot argue.
I mean, sure, we can argue
your...
the technicality, and I'll give it to you if I have to. But I will, one, reluctantly give it to you, and two, in private conversation with with our listeners, with the homies and everybody, I will continue to refer to him as my number one comic book villain. Gladly.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That being said,
I will accept that.
Awesome. I'm glad you do. I was hoping you would. I was sure you would too, you know. Otherwise, I would have tried to avoid it.
Right.
But nonetheless, I do want to proudly proclaim dadgum Mr. Glass, man. He does it for me as a villain.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Glass, he's... If I were organizing a list of my favorite non-comic book villains...
Okay.
he would... Because I was trying to think, where would I put him? Because he's definitely deserving.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's one of the greatest villains that I've seen in the movie. Period. He's damn good, and just the way it's portrayed and your whole perception of him throughout the movie changes from this tragic character to this weird man to someone who's kind of obsessed. And then at the end, there's a twist where he goes from being a tragic hero who overcomes his childhood traumas to he's
the criminal mastermind. Literally, by definition.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so I'm pretty sure you know who my number one is. I'm going to read my quote anyway. I don't care.
Okay.
And because I already knew that
Wait. Can you try to do it in his voice?
No.
Come on, man.
No, I can't do that. I can't.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because I know that you know who my number one is, and probably all the listeners also know
who my number one is. Wasn't it? He was in my honorable mentions.
the quote that I chose wasn't even trying to hide who he was.
Yeah,
this is just a really cool quote
Just said, ha 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 ha.
that I appreciate. So
I'm sorry.
His quote is as follows: "It's all a joke. Everything anybody ever valued or struggled for. It's all a monstrous, demented gag. So why can't you see the funny side? Why aren't you laughing?"
I got it. Your favorite villain is the movie version of the villain from Winter Soldier.
You mean Zemo von Baron and...
I wanted to make that joke once, but no. Joker.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know seriously, Joker.
Don't you diminish this awesome quote.
No. I was hoping you'd choose something on that level. Either that or something from...
Killing Joke.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I was thinking either that or Under the Red Hood, but yeah.
Yep. No, this is one of my favorite quotes here from Joker because it's so deep. And just he really goes into depth about the commonalities of life and how he says that people just need to laugh at it like it's all part of the joke, but no one gets it. And I really love that about him. So... The Joker, here's the thing about my list personally. Dr. Doom, Ozymandias, Magneto, and Lex Luthor. All these men have things in common, but the Joker, he's different from all of them together. There's no true origin or identity. There's no real method or remorse for what he does. He has no desire for any sort of peace, wealth, or power. There's no ego associated with what he does. He has none of the common traits of my other villains, like I already said. He is chaos incarnate. He's pure madness. He's like a conscious force of nature, because a fire doesn't care what building it burns down. An earthquake doesn't care how many people it kills. And neither does the Joker. He just does. He only has one person in his life other than himself who he truly cares about. And no, it is not Harley Quinn.
Yeah, no, don't fool yourself. Suicide Squad did not do that.
He achieves his. Before I get into this next part here, so with the Joker and all that being said, it's easy to look at the Joker or overlook the Joker and just say he's a maddening psychopath. That's what he is. He's someone who's just really, really crazy. But just like I said in the Villains podcast that we did a couple months ago, I think that there's definitely more to the Joker than just that.
Right.
I think he's more than just a maddening man. He's more than just a psychopath. And as a matter of fact, his methodology and the way that he acts, the decisions that he chooses, they dictate that he's actually not a psychopath. And if he is, he's a psychopath on an entirely different level altogether, which is possible because he achieves his goals through like very sane decisions. And sometimes there's really extensive planning that he does. He exhibits superior understanding and knowledge of how mind works, and he knows what people will do for greed. He understands the human psyche, and he knows what makes people tick, and he acts accordingly. The Joker is my number one villain because he is completely unpredictable, because he is so much unlike all of my other villains. He has no true motive. He has there's no goal in mind that he really is trying to accomplish. One thing he's trying to accomplish is to get everyone to see the joke. He wants everyone to see the joke so they can all laugh together. And most of all, he wants Batman to see that joke, because Batman, of course, is his polar opposite.
Exactly, yeah.
Batman may be his polar opposite, but the Joker loves Batman tremendously. So, almost gives him purpose and reason.
Yeah.
The Joker would even sometimes go so far as to say that, who knows, Bats, maybe without you, there'd be no me. The Joker is, I think, also arguably the most dangerous villain on my list. And once again, even though he has no power, he doesn't need it. He just does.
I was about to say, he doesn't need power. He, with his mindset alone, can do so much more.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous thing. That's the criminal mastermind behind his chaos, his mad joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Joker is definitely my number one pick.
Fitting.
Yep. Very much so.
I wonder if Mr. Glass and Joker would be friends. I kind of doubt into it.
I doubt it, because, like I said, Joker goes against everything the classical villain stands for.
They can go shopping together. They can buy purple together. That's about it.
Yeah.
You here to find the latest purple suits? Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, once again, quick rundown. My number 5 was Dr. Doom. Number 4 was Ozymandias. Number 3 was Lex Luthor. Number 2 was Magneto. And number 1 was Joker. And what was yours?
Mine would be number 5, Movie Vulture. 4, Proteus, aka Mutant X. Number 3, Deathstroke. Number 2, Magneto. And number 1, Mr. Glass.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we got. So, we hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast, and hopefully, you guys thought about your own top 5s, and because I'd be curious to hear how some of you guys will organize your list as well. Surely it'd be vastly different from ours.
Oh yeah, please. I mean, if anything, email them to us. We'd love to read them.
Yeah. Hit us up so I can criticize your list. I'm kidding.
Oh damn, dude. I would enjoy them. Nice.
I was kidding. People.
He's kidding. He's good.
Yeah. But, of course, before we close out, let's go ahead and read from the book of Regrettable Superheroes. It's been a while since we read from the book.
It has. It feels like it's been
a couple weeks.
a month?
No, not quite
Are you
that
sure?
long. Yeah.
Because we didn't read it. Okay, 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. All right, so here's the random one I opened up to tonight, fellas. And unfortunately, we don't have the villain version of the same book. The book being called The League of Regrettable Superheroes. There is an equal edition of it in Supervillains, but alas.
Yeah, off microphone, some time ago, I even said that, we need to get the villains book before we do our big villain podcast.
Yeah.
And then I completely forgot, and here we are.
Here we are. If anything, this guy, he came to because of villains. There's a loose association. So, Speed Centaur is the one I opened up to. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. He is a centaur, half man, half horse. So, in the time frame when he came out, being the late 30s, early 40s, comic companies were looking for something different, something that stands out above other superheroes. Well, what else would stand out more than a man who's, half man, half horse? That stands out, right?
Is the bottom half or upper half a horse?
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
No. Top half, it's a centaur. So top half's a man, bottom half is four-legged horse with the tail. But no. So he was born in a mysterious city somewhere in the Arctic Circle. Speed, for short. He was the sole survivor of a huge catastrophic earthquake that destroyed his homeland and all of his people. Wow. Damn, that sounded bad. So he was orphaned and wandering around when all of a sudden a human trapper captured the creature, but then proceeded to teach him, educate, and train him, and raised him to hate evil and crime.
That's the weirdest slavery I've ever heard of.
I know, right? Like, what the shit?
But still slavery.
On the trapper's deathbed, he gave Speed his mission to clean up the nearby urban center dubbed the City of Rackets. So it wasn't a city. Apparently, it was an urban center.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't know. That might.
Yeah, well.
So maybe it was I don't know. Whatever. A big town. So he took a big trip to the city, and then he found his very first crook, who was, and I love this. I kind of do. Killer Diller. That was the villain's name. His name was Killer Diller. But he's going along doing his business. He finds his soon-to-be best pal and partner, the newsman Jerry Real McCoy. So there's that. He had a very impressive array of powers as well, apparently. So as if, being a daggum centaur, half man, half horse wasn't enough to make him unusual, he is also a mental and physical giant capable of flinging mighty boulders like pebbles. He can fly.
He can fly.
He can fly. He can fly. What do you know? He can move as quick as daggum lightning, apparently. And though...
What?
I know, right? He has... However, that all being said, he kind of had some sacrifices to make to get those powers. Because, he couldn't have a secret identity. You can't...
You don't say.
Can't hide that. He never had a civilian career.
That Speed Centaur looks like Bill Centaur that works with us. That Bill the Centaur wears glasses, so they can't be the same.
I wish they tried something like that. I really wish they did. At that point, it'd be more satirical, I believe.
Yeah.
But no. He couldn't have romance either.
I think we can find a couple women out there who'd
sure,
give
right?
it a try.
What? No. Apparently he did have a disguise. So, okay.
He had to have worked behind the counter.
No, he had a lifelike quote-unquote mask with which he covers his upper body, allowing him to pass as a talking urban horse. I love that. Why didn't this guy survive? By the way, he was created by Martin Killdale from the Amazing Mystery Funnies Volume 2, Number 8, in, ironically, the Centaur Publications of August 1930.
Well, damn.
So apparently he has a secret headquarters as well. It's in some big cave called, the Knob Nose Mountain, which overlooked his city. Okay, what the freak? That's okay. Well, whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of other weird stuff. Like apparently in one of the hidden chambers of his cave, they face a big hairy green rhinoceros. That was a thing apparently. I don't know. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah.
he was the only horse and rider history hero ever. You know. So there you go.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Legend has it that when he retired from being a comic book character, he went on to join Mortal Kombat and became a combatant. And there he is. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know. I feel like he'd take up too much screen space. Look at him.
No, I mean, there's the actual Centaur in Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It's been like all the games.
Well, I don't.
Jeez, Kevin.
All right. Come on. What?
Man,
trying to think.
what are you doing?
I really don't remember the Centaur.
Really?
Yeah, no, dude. Educate me. Help me remember. Dude, it's been forever since I played some Mortal Kombat, man. Come on.
I see that.
I know the important ones. I just don't remember the daggum Centaur.
He was even in the movies. They came out back in the 90s. Yeah.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah. We'll talk about this off podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin and I are going to have a serious discussion once these mics are off. But,
We gotta go play Mortal Kombat now. Look, he's a Centaur. Oh. Well, can you kick?
of course he can kick.
He's a horse trotting kick.
I think he actually did. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap this podcast up. As always, we thank you guys for listening in. You know, all your listeners are the guys that keep us afloat here. And, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. As always, though, if you guys have any kind of questions or comments, gifts, threats, food, supplies, then you know where to hit us up at. Hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or our Facebook page of the same name, Superhero Homies. And as always, if you like what you hear, then please give us a review on iTunes. That really helps us out a lot. And you got any closing remarks, Kevin, before we shut down shop?
Okay, there was a Centaur in Mortal Kombat. I did just Google search him, and it basically looks like something from Tenacious D. The movie.
Okay, but he came along first.
Oh, no, he
Anyways.
definitely came along first, but I'm just like looking at like numerous versions of him, and it's like, oh,
Okay,
gosh.
we're gonna go ahead and shut this down, folks. But as always, we thank you for listening.
We do, guys.
We were once again slacking on our job. We don't have a topic for next week.
Not yet, but this time we'll be sure
time
to
we'll be
try to
sure.
announce it to you beforehand.
But this coming Wednesday, we will be picking up our review of the Marvel Cinematic Universe by reviewing Iron Man 3. And we're gonna go ahead and shut it down here, folks. My name is Quentin.
I'm Kevin.
Till next time.